As the world continues to head into divisions and destruction, the world's answers to these problems is on the horizon. A one-world religion with all the beliefs of the world coming together united in peace and safety. The Abrahamic family house in Abu Dhabi is nearing completion. This religious center is being built to unite the three religions of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. A place where the three religions who have their origin story tied to Abraham will be united in creating a one-world religion. A religion that ultimately will be ran by the Antichrist as the head of it. And for those who don't believe in religion, the contact that will be publicly made with aliens will help to bring those who need to see to believe. The religious center will house the St. Francis of Assisi Church, Imam Al-Tayeb Mosque, and Moses Ben Mimam Synagogue. The project completion rate was 20% as of June 2021 and is set to open in 2022. This lines up perfectly with what we are seeing worldwide. A call to align and to be united on every front as one people and one belief system, especially in the Western world. A call to end climate change, a call to end racism, or the last common phrase we all heard recently that was placarded all over people's Facebook profiles, "It takes all of us." This is lining up exactly with how it's supposed to be with the end times unity that will be required for the Antichrist to take complete control of the world. Revelation 13, 7-8, referencing the Antichrist, the first beast. Also, it was allowed to make war on the saints and to conquer them, and authority was given it over every tribe and people and language and nation, and all who dwell on the earth will worship it. Everyone whose name has not been written before the foundation of the world in the book of life of the Lamb who was slain. The beast will demand full control and full worship, and the second beast, the false prophet, will be his enforcer and deceiver to bring all into this one-world unity of deception. Revelation 13, 11-18, the second beast. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb and it spoke like a dragon. It exercises all the authority of the first beast in its presence and makes the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast whose mortal wound was healed. It performs great signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in front of people. And by the signs that it's allowed to work in the presence of the beast, it deceives those who dwell on earth, telling them to make an image of the beast that was wounded by the sword, and yet lived. And it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak, and might cause those who would not worship the image of the beast to be slain. Also it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or on the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is, the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The one-world unity of religion through the false belief that God is the God of all religions is what's being set up. But what about the people who don't believe in God? We see the one-world religion being set up, but how will the Antichrist deceive the large number of people who don't believe in God or who don't follow Abrahamic religions such as Christianity, Islam, or Judaism? By performing false signs and false miracles. As mentioned in Revelation 13, the Antichrist will receive a deadly head wound and then through a satanic miracle be healed. Then the false prophet will perform signs such as calling down fire and giving breath to an image of the Antichrist. I believe some of these deceptions will include the satanic communion with aliens. It's undeniable that UFOs and other worldly crafts and beings are existing in our time and space. It's openly admitted by military officials in the most powerful nation of the world. Think of all the people who reject God and the truth of the Bible. What God do they follow? Science. The false god of following science and everything anyone who claims to be a doctor or scientist says is the new false god of the people who reject the Father. These people who blindly trust anything that's said on the TV or their favorite mainstream media website will be crying with excitement when the extraterrestrial from another planet arrives, validating their belief in evolution and their pride in the false fact that the Bible is false and made up, because where in it does it describe these beings and their savior? Even more so, the demonic fallen entities could have false proof, even falsified videos broadcasted worldwide on how they terraformed Earth to have all this water, created human beings, and even created the religions of the world. Such a deception would cause anyone who is not a true believer in Jesus Christ to become even violent, demanding the death of those who reject these entities' demonic proof of our existence. Revelation 13, 8-10 describes such a time and people who demand the death of those who don't worship and follow the first beast, the Antichrist. And all who dwell on the earth will worship it, everyone whose name has not been written before the foundation of the world in the book of life of the Lamb who was slain. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. If anyone is to be taken captive, to captivity he goes. If anyone is to be slain with the sword must he be slain. Here is a call for the endurance and faith of the saints. What we are seeing now is a setting up period. This cannot happen overnight, but what we are seeing is all the pieces being moved into place. The beginning of sorrows as mentioned by Jesus in Matthew 24. Unity is the cry of the people. even when it flies in the face of what we know to be true. Judaism is the origin story of Christianity, the years and build-up to the Messiah. From Genesis to Malachi, what's told is the coming Savior, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. The Jewish people today reject Jesus Christ as the Messiah, even though him alone could have fulfilled the prophecies. Messiah had to come before the destruction of the Second Temple. The temple was destroyed in 70 AD, so it's impossible for another these days to be the Messiah. Yet they still are expecting one. The beliefs of Islam in the Quran were written hundreds of years after the last biblical text, the Book of Revelation. It's extremely clear to see that many of the stories in the Quran are plagiarized from biblical texts. Jesus himself is even in the Quran, but Muhammad chose to make up his own stories about him, leading to the creation of the Islamic religion, who believes and violently proclaims that Jesus is not one with God or the Son of God. One of Islam's most holy sites, Al-Aqsa Mosque, even says on the writing on it, God has no son. A verse from the Quran, Surah, verse 17, 111. The fact that Jesus is denied as the Messiah and the Son of God by Judaism and Islam are the two qualifiers that the Bible and God demand we follow in order to be saved. 1 John 5:10. The one who believes in the Son of God has the testimony in himself. The one who does not believe God has made him a liar, because he has not believed in the testimony that God has given concerning his Son. The one factor that would make us part of one family and in perfect unity is the one factor that both Judaism and Islam reject about Christianity. It only makes sense that the coming enemy goes by the title Antichrist. It's the same thing that every other person of the world who doesn't follow Jesus believes, whether of a different religion or a follower of scientism. Their number one factor they all share in common is being Antichrist. We are seeing it all around us. The Antichrist systems and beliefs are being spread all throughout the earth, and at the same time we are seeing God's true followers become more bold, and miracles and great salvations are taking place all across the earth. God wins at the end of the day, and Christians aren't supposed to be fearful during these times. We have a great glory and eternal peace to look forward to. God will guide and deliver us through all the coming trials and tribulations. As Christians, the goal is unity, but unity under Jesus Christ, with him as the head and us as the body. Two passages that are fitting here are Matthew 5:46 through 47 and Matthew 9:37 through 38, because just as we were once lost in the world and its deceptions, so are the people who have yet to receive Jesus the Son of God as their Savior, and they are desperately in need of him, and we are called to bring his truth and good news to them. Matthew 5:46 through 47. If you love only those who love you, what reward is there for that? Even corrupt tax collectors do that. If you are kind only to your friends, how are you different from anyone else? Even pagans do that. And Matthew 9:37 through 38. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest truly is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest." And I'll leave you with a verse of encouragement from the mouth of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the Son of God. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. Thanks for watching, and God bless.